Welcome back to the Getting to Know You podcast. I'm joined today by two Houston musicians, previous guest from my other show, the Towboat Rock Star himself, Mr. Trey Seymour, and Jefe, who I know little about, except that he is a vocalist for what appear to be a few metal bands in the Houston area. They have a project coming together that we will touch on a little bit later. But to begin, Trey, please share with us your music career, some bullet points from before the Navy and since.
Talk to the people. Talk to the people. Here we go. So we spoke before, so the detailed stories in your other episode for more details. But real quick, I played in gigging bands from when I was real young, about 14 or 15. I started playing gigs with.
Met him when he was 16.
Yep.
Yeah, and I knew his dad before then.
We played a gig. That's how we met. I was like 16 years old. We were playing a gig together.
That he put together.
Yep. Yeah, they had his band headline the gig that night, and we were just excited that they were there. And we
It's and pass the get down, Dana. Come on.
That's the old name. So that we've known each other a long time, and I've just been playing in a lot of bands. I had the main one back then that we were playing that night with him, and I've done bands off and on throughout my life. Mostly in the city of Houston and its surrounding areas is where I tend to stay. I've been a little further out than that with music, but nothing of really any note. And nowadays I find myself doing more stuff, branching out, doing as much as I can, but at the same time, I've still got my main project, which has been BMT for the last number of years, Black Market Tragedy. That band is in a hold kind of state. They've got some life that they're living. I explain that more in the other podcast. So they're doing that. That band's still happening. It's still a thing, but it's just going to be a lot less. So me and old Jefe here, we got something cooking in with grease that we got going on.
Well, yeah, and we've been talking about doing it for about a year and a half. And I mean, literally the first time we got together was first part of January of this year, 2023. And hell, we've got the dudes, we've got the songs, video ideas. I mean, I don't know. I preach a lot, but I'm not doing it wrong like I've done 1,000 times in the past. So we're going to do it right. Videos for every song, releases, and just all of the things that you got to have, all the social medias and all the things. So that way we can hit the ground running once we're ready to release. So yeah.
Before we get too far into that discussion, fill me in on this gig you arranged when you were 16 years old, and maybe both of y'all's perspectives.
So that was the thing that I was doing. I did that twice a year, and it was we lived in Pasadena, and the pit was in Pasadena. That was the venue we were doing this at. We called it the Pasadena Metal Fest. And so I would find these bands, reach out to these bands, and get them to agree to play, pay whatever guarantee or whatever situation they needed to come. These guys were just down to come, and most of the bands were. It was a local gig. It was really a networking opportunity for everybody, and I really just wanted to have a cool gig to play myself because I booked my own band on the gig, and I wanted to play with as many of these older cool guys that I had seen in Houston. Like you said, my dad is a musician, and he's played in Houston my whole life. So I would see dad's friends and be like, man, I want to be as cool as them. and so I wanted to put together a show. I nailed it. Yeah, and it worked. I did it twice a year for 2 or 3 years, and then I grew up, so I had to leave to the Navy and stuff. So it came to a halt at that point. But
yeah, it was like a teen club. Like they didn't serve alcohol or anything like that. And that was when we had our conversation about the gig. I was like, well, we drink a lot. And he's like, yeah, it's BYOB. I was like, man, sweet. So I rolled in with my ice chest, man. I was ready to go, man. Yeah, we had his band was Lamb of the Slaughter, and my band at that time, Peach Gringos. I think it might officially be done at this point, but had a few members pass away, but yeah, I've been doing that since '99. So and shit, that was 08, 06 or something.
07,
it's been
give or take.
long time ago.
Yeah, 07, give or take.
So, but yeah, it was a great time. I never even really heard. I mean, I heard of the place, but I'd never been there before. And but I mean, it's just black walls, black ceiling, huge freaking stage. The stage riser or the drum riser on the stage. The stage was about chest level, and then the drum riser was another 3 feet on top of that. So the drummer is way up there, man. Yeah, it was a wild spot. We had a good old time. Had a good old time.
Good place.
Heck yeah.
And you said you've been playing music professionally since '99.
I have, yes. Yeah, with Pinche Gringos. Yeah, I'm a singer by default. My buddy was, I guess we were, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, and he's in a band with these like 16, 17-year-old kids. And I'm like, I mean, we're really, it's a late evening, and like, man, I want to be in the band. I want to play an instrument. Can I sing? And in high school, my homeroom teacher was the choir instructor. So she was always, when you could join choir, when you go and try, because I could dance back in the day,
I seen you do it.
and I looked good in a tuxedo apparently, so that was the reason. But he's like, yeah, you can carry a tune, like come on out. And it was literally this kid's had in the backyard, they had this like a storage container off of a ship, and it was on an 18-wheeler frame, the trailer. And you just steps up to it, walk in. I couldn't even stand up all the way. Like I had to punch down a little bit to be in there. And it's loud and guitars are distorted. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know. We did like 2 or 3 rehearsals, and then they're like, yeah, we want to go in a different direction. And I was like, okay, cool. And luckily my buddy had a Home Depot credit card, and I say we, but he built the the studio that we had. We called the chicken coop in his parents' backyard. And I literally went from going to the bars 5, 6, 7 nights a week to being in his backyard 5, 6, well, 5 or 6. I went to the bar at least once a week. But yeah, I mean, literally just my life just completely changed with music. So yeah, it was I don't know, blessing and a curse, I guess.
Well, fill me in on life, man, from where you were born, what your parents did for a living, what led you to music.
My dad was a musician, or is a musician. I remember my first honky tonk experience. He had started a band called the Porter Bunch. They lived in Porter, Texas. They're off 59 and 1314. And so he started a band called the Porter Bunch, and he taught my uncle Ray how to play the drums. So he was the drummer, and then taught my other uncle Don, and his wife is Donna. It's so cute. Oh my God, Don and Donna. Anyway, I taught him how to play bass, and that was the band. And I was 5 years old. We're at this honky tonk in Porter. And I remember being as pissed off as a 5-year-old could be, because I asked my dad to play the Cotton Eye Joe like 99 times, and he didn't. So I was 5. My half brother was 3, and then my half sister was 1. She was in a playpen, in her playpen in the bar. So like that movie Sweet Home Alabama, like you have a baby in a bar. Like, yeah, that's my family. And then we went to the Hot Biscuit off of 1314. And I just remember thinking, I was little, I ate real fast or whatever, but there's like, we put a bunch of tables together. It was like, I don't know, 15, 18, 20 of us or whatever. But so it was my dad's band and like all the friends and carry-ons and people. And so I just remember sitting back, and everyone is just having the time of their life, laughing their asses off, joking and all these things. I just remember sitting back and thinking like, man, this is freaking cool, man. And I mean, who knew, years later I'd be doing music, freaking crazy.
And that's, I think that's a big thing, because I have the similar memories with my dad. And that's really, I think, whenever it becomes more than, because you'll meet people and they say, oh, I picked up the guitar, but I don't really practice much, and I'm okay. And then the difference between I think the person that does that and they just very casually play, and then the people that really take this stuff seriously is memories like that. When I was a kiddo, like I even just said earlier, and I remember seeing my dad's friends and they were joking and laughing and smiling. Everybody's having fun. And then you see them and they do their thing that they do together and they're all in sync together. They're all in time together. They're all laughing and smiling and joking. And as a young kid, that's what I saw, and I believe you too.
Mhm.
And that stuff is just leaps and bounds memorable. That's where it really originates from, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I said, I mean, everybody, it's weird. Like everybody knows my dad, wherever we go, it's just like, oh man, your dad, David, man, what we love seeing him play, we love seeing him perform. And like I said, I've been doing it, doing his whole life shit. So he just had cancer recently. And that was obviously an ordeal, but I believe he's cancer free, fuck cancer. And so he's been doing the church music. He's at Booker County, Robertson County Cowboy Church is what it is anyway. So he's been doing that for a while, but he hadn't done these jamborees in a while, and he'd been doing them for years and years. And apparently the jamboree that happens in New Baden is the longest running jamboree in all of Texas. It's been like since 1952 or some crazy shit like that. And so he got to do that for the first time since all of this cancer stuff, since last year, like 2 weekends ago. So me and my eldest son went to go and show support and go watch him perform and stuff like that. So man, it was, and of course it's just, and then all the love, like man, like your dad is like, he's such an inspiration, dealing with all that shit and still coming back and doing music, and just people love that shit. Me too. Yeah.
Well, walk me through your career as a musician from '99 till I guess this little project began.
Oh man. I do remember hearing from other folks telling me what other people had said of like, oh, that's just another Jefe band. But Pinche Gringos was my main thing forever. That's where I cut my teeth, and I said did that, and we I say toured all over, but I mean Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma, and did all that, and then we got to a point where we were only really rehearsing one time a week, and didn't really have anything in the books planned. And I was literally I own Texas Music Studios now. That's where we're at right now. And so I didn't know it back then, but I was coming through, and my buddy actually, and it's crazy because it was this room, this room, and yeah. So I'm walking by and I'm like, wait, that's different music than what I'm normally hearing coming out of that room. So hey man, what's up with this? Like, oh man, 10-ton hammer. I don't know, we're just trying to figure it out or whatever. And I was like, man, I don't have enough rock and roll in my life. You mind if I go get my gear and come back and jam with y'all? And they're like, yeah, go for it. Like, oh, how long are you gonna be here? I'm like, we're gonna be here like another probably hour. So I lived 11 minutes away. I was back in 17. Bam, bam, and we jammed for 4.5 hours. And when we were all walking out at the end of it, they were like, all right, so we rehearse on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's how I joined that one. And shit, at one time I was in 5 bands, man. It was, I don't know. I told myself, like, I'm not going to say no to anything. And so and then about 6 days later, I was like, I got to stop. I'm in 5 bands already. Like, it was a lot. But man, Red Hawk, goddamn, son, was another one. Jeez, man. Some Monstro, I'm in that one right now. I don't know, man. Yeah, Heathen's Blood. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh shit, we just Heathen's Blood just I say we just released a video, but the band is defunct. But that happened 1.5 years ago. Well, about 1.5 years ago, I started shooting this video, and with my lack of video knowledge, it took over 1.5 years for us me and my buddy to finally get it done. But we just released it. So Heathen's Blood, Soulless, it's out there. You got to be 18 because there's boobs in it. There's boobs, blood, possession. Man, it's freaking awesome. What else could you want from a rock and roll video? Come on now, hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
It's like a 1980s horror movie almost, within a music video. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, 10 Ton Hammer was probably, I don't know. I would say the most successful one that I've done. I mean, we would have, sold out, just about damn near sold out shows.
At Fitzgerald's, the world famous Fitzgerald's.
Yeah, the world's famous.
Y'all sold it out, right?
Yeah, downstairs it was tit to back. That's for sure, man. Yeah, it was. That was a good time. We a buddy of mine, he was I think he was a constable at that time. We had reconnected over a mutual friend's funeral, and so we were just kind of doing our weekly check-in. And he's like, it's like, hey, what do you think about me bringing you on stage in handcuffs? I was like, is that legal? He's like, I don't know, but it'd be cool, wouldn't it? Hell yeah. So the band sets up, I'm outside, and he's in his cruiser, like he's literally coming to the show. His family's there, my buddy Johnny Pedraza, much love, brother. And his whole crew's there. And so he's basically gonna do that, watch the show, and then he's gotta go to work. So he has got his SWAT gear on. The helmet, the goggles, all the shit. And so we're out there, and I get the call, like, all right, we're ready. And I'm like, okay, we're ready. And he's like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Man, he hems me up, dude. I don't know if you've ever been arrested or handcuffed before, but I think it's in the cop handbook. Like, they all have to say this, like, God damn, those are tight. He's like, well, they ain't built for comfort. Come on, man, come on with something original, Anyway, so he's just starts shoving me. We go through the front door, and he's got a flashlight, and get the fuck out of the way. Shoving me into people, and we're starting to get to the stage, and everyone's freaking the fuck out, And I don't know if I was at that point, I'm about probably 20 feet from the stage, and I'm like, we didn't rehearse this. But my microphone's on the ground. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. But we get up to there, and he just swoops my feet out from underneath me. Bam! I crash onto the floor, and he undoes me. And how we started our set was with our song "Push," and it starts out, "What the fuck?" So I jump up. What the? Everyone just goes ape shit, man. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's good. That was good. That was good shit right there, for sure. But
well, let's stick with road stories. Give me, actually, if you have anything that sticks out from your very first show ever.
The first show I ever played went horribly wrong. It was so bad. Everything that, like, I now know can go wrong went wrong that night. And I think we only played 2 songs, like from start to finish. Actually played 2 songs. We were late, we had broken gear, this doesn't work, we're missing a cable, like everything went wrong that night. And I would be surprised for any musician to not tell you at least a kind of sort of similar story, unless they're, playing their first gig with a bunch of really seasoned guys. That stuff happens. And
right.
I don't remember like any specific details of like what went wrong that night.
Other than everything?
Everything went wrong that night. Yeah, that's how my first show went.
My first one was Graham Central Station in Pasadena. And I remember the one cool thing that I thought, I was wearing a Magic 102 t-shirt. That's like R&B and that kind of music, radio station. I was wearing that. I don't know. I remember just getting a tickle at, that I'm wearing this, I'm doing heavy metal, I don't know. But I know that back in those days, I didn't know how to do what I was doing. I was just doing it, and so I would have, by the end of it, I can't talk, my head is freaking pounding. It just took years and years and years of honing my craft, figuring out, I don't have to push so hard to get the effect that I want. I can, like I said, and at the end of the show, I'm not tired and beat up on the inside. I may be a little more drunk, but
Wait up.
Maybe
That's like
Well, give me some highlights and lowlights that, of course, you want to share on a public forum about life on the road.
Life on the road. Life on the road's no fun, man. That's why I never really wanted to, like, obviously any musician's goal is to get world famous and travel the world and play. As a more local, centralized musician to my area, when I do go travel far away, at this point in my career and life, there's got to be a reason that I'm going out there. Life on the road is hard. Try to go across town with 4 other people and coordinate all of that with a bunch of gear. That's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Now try to go to a different state and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can imagine the logistical, not even issues or problems, just things. And so I say that to say, I'll go out of town if there's a reason, or even if it's just a good networking opportunity, I'm happy to go. That being said, I feel like, especially in this group, we've all been doing this a long time. We already know what to expect. So we're going to get up there and we're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
I would not want to go out of town with a group of guys that haven't already done it a few times. It's a stressful thing. It's work. It's a job to go do that.
Right. I mean, it's a fun job.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. And then, I don't know, sleeping on floors and stuff like that. I remember Troy Starr is one of the gringos who has passed, RIP to you, my brother. And I pick him up at the house. His gear's at the studio already, but he's got his guitar with him. And I'm like, all right. He has his toothbrush. That's it. He's like, I'm ready, bro. Let's go. I'm like, hell yeah, let's come on, bro. Let's do this, man.
What more you need?
Yeah, right. But yeah, man, it is. It's just wild, man. I mean, you're alone on an island almost, because if you have vehicle trouble, you got to figure it out, or like or gear issues, breaking a snare head or something, I mean, you just got to figure it out. But yeah, we've oh God, 10-ton hammer. We were just 12-year-old kids is what we were as in adult bodies. But I mean, teabagging and holding up, show your boob signs while we're full-fledged adults, you know what I'm saying? Acting like kids. But I remember there was this, we were playing in Huntsville, or maybe that was, I don't know if that was it or not. Anyway, we're on 45 North, and we do the show your tits to this very manly woman driving this 18-wheeler. She did not appreciate it.
She's probably trying to run you off the road.
We'll just say that she didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I mean, sleeping on. I mean, I don't know. For me too, like one of my kind of little secrets, I guess. I mean, I always have a cooler full of booze, beer and booze, and you show up to the venue. I don't ever book or stay at a hotel. This is my hotel. I have this, and I'm like, hey, normally people that show up early to a show, those are the ones that are going to be there all night long. And so I buddy up with, hey, what's going on? What's your name, man? About here to see about this. And oh yeah, I'm cool. I'm from 10th Hammer, Houston, whatever. And hey, where's the after party? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, man, I got a cooler full of booze, man. And be like, oh, we're having the after party. Yeah, come on over, And then then you get to stay there. And yeah, man. And 9 times out of 10, they cook breakfast for you in the morning. And I got to admit, that moment when you're waking up on a stranger's floor in a strange town, and my whole responsibility at that point, all I got to do is get up and get to the next town and rock and roll, man. I never feel so free. Man, that's a wonderful feeling, man. Because I mean, I had kids and all that, so I mean, I got shit going on, But yeah, to that be my only responsibility, man, it is a wonderful feeling. Like weekenders, like I may have done a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever, but I don't know, maybe a Thursday in Nacogdoches, a Friday in Dallas, and then a Saturday in Lawton, Oklahoma, or something like that. So I haven't really gone on any longer than that. But you can carry it. You can catch a lot of ground doing those, as long as you keep it on the map. But then you gotta. The thing is, within 6 months, you got to hit that place back again, and then another 6 months, and so you literally start. I've got a map, and we're doing this month, and then 6 months later we're doing the exact same thing, and then 6 months later doing the exact same thing. So then you just start building those, and you've got, this is our East Texas run, this is our West Texas run. This one we're going to Louisiana, maybe Mississippi, that kind of stuff. So you just kind of you gotta hit them, and you gotta keep in their mind, you know what I'm saying? Because people will forget, I mean, especially now with these freaking things, everyone, their attention is just, it's like that. So you got to keep on them. I know he and I have been talking about the social media thing, and like, we're building content already, going to be able to put it out. And that way it's not just a one-time thing. We got stuff popping all the time. So that way, like I said, you're in people's faces. But one other little story. We were in Lawton, Oklahoma, trying to leave, and this girl wanted to come home with us. No, lady, you cannot go to Houston with us. I guess. Oh, that was fun. That was a good time.
And I've only ever really done the weekender thing too. I think the most we ever did was like a Wednesday to like a Monday. You know what I mean? But that's a different place every night. And you do that a few times, and like you get the experience, you know what I mean? And like I was saying, it's a logistical thing to go and do that. Even just a weekend, even just like we're going to Dallas Friday night, we're going to Oklahoma City, Saturday night, and then we're going to hit Houston Sunday. We'll come home that day and hit Houston that Sunday night. That's a lot. And so
everyone's got to eat, everyone's got to poop.
Yeah.
You might get a shower.
No.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get a shower.
Yeah.
Unless you have a gym membership.
There is that. Yeah. Those are golden.
Mm-hmm.
Scream at the sky, Brian. He was like, that's one of my things. I mean, I try and shower as often as I can because you don't get it often. So when you have the opportunity, when there's a fitness connection in that town, you go find it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's life on the road is cool. It's fun. And, like I said, with that, even though it is a logistical thing, like he said, it is the most fun, especially because who do you play in music with in a band? Like you play with these guys 2-3 times a week. You're hanging out with these guys all the time. We've got the group chat going, we're all texting. I talk to these guys every single day. And all day. Yeah, all day long. So we basically, you get to road trip with your friends, and like you said, all your responsibility is to get there and put on the best show you can do. That's your job. Absolutely. And it is a hard job, but it's so fun. It's so rewarding. It's the most fun job.
Absolutely. And I mean, and no matter, if you're sick, you sprain an ankle loading gear, you smash a finger loading gear. I mean, that shit happens, man. It is like I said, it's a logistical nightmare. But I one kind of hey hoorah moment. We were playing 10 Ton was playing Lawton, Oklahoma, and we're loading the gear out, because you want to be respectful. You want to get off stage as soon as possible, so that way the next band can get in. You don't want to take anybody else's space at their time. And so we're rolling gear, and there's just like, whoa. Like it's not coming to me. Me and my buddy were moving his gear. Luckily it's got wheels, but it's super fucking heavy. And all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, stop, hold on, man. And he's like, move, Hefe. I'm like, listen, dude. And this whole club is hollering, 10 Ton fucking hammer, 10 Ton fucking hammer. We're like, what? Yeah. And they're like, okay, all right, let's keep moving the gear. Let's move the gear, man. Come on, let's go. We literally gave ourselves like 4 seconds of enjoyment of that, and then kept moving gear. But man, I mean, that's what you live for, man. It's this place that's super packed, and you get to touch them. That's, I mean, not inappropriately.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a good show is the reward. Absolutely. You do all this rehearsrsal.
Absolutely.
Do all this
hours and hours.
You do
hours.
You done moved all your whole rehearsal room. You done moved it to this place. You done tore it apart. You done all this, and then you have a good show. Worth it.
Absolutely.
Done. That's what we did it all for.
Yeah, there's this thing about I don't know who said it, but it's about the 10,000 hour thing, right? If there's something you're into, then do it for 10,000 hours. And after you do it for 10,000 hours, you're going to be good at it. You are going to be good after 10,000 hours of doing something. These two dudes have put way more than 10,000 hours into our craft for sure, for sure. I mean, hell, I live here at my studio. You know, I mean, I live, and I know one of my buddies, his dad was like, that Jefe guy, he lives it. I was like, thanks, dude. Fuck yeah, thanks, man. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, it's mucho importante to me, for sure.
Well, speaking of shows, I guess this may take a while. It may not. I don't know. But fill me in what you can. Some highlights and lowlights of actually being on stage over the years.
My favorite for, I guess, as far as the crowd goes, right? The people that we're playing to, I really enjoy, as being the drummer, I'm usually up on a drum riser. So I have the best view in the whole club, like most of the time. Sometimes I'll play on the floor with the guys and everything, you know what I mean? But most of the time I'm up on a drum riser. So I get the view of the whole club. Now I try to, shake my head and, be entertaining to watch. That's what I'm there to do. But I get to see everybody out there, and I can see them all. And, I've got so many I mean, I once watched a guy like run, jump, and flying drop kick another guy while I was playing. Like, whoa, that just happened. I've got so many stories like that. Like, literally just like something you see Jackie Chan do. It's like, woo, just get a guy. So I've got a bunch of stories like that. That's always enjoyable to watch for me.
Heck yeah, man. We were doing Rockers for Knockers. It was a buddy of mine's mom had beat breast cancer, and so this was his organization that he started. And so we're in Conroe. It's literally just a big metal building, concrete floors, and he had enough money he brought in a stage, and the stage was rickety, man. You're up there, and I'm just doing this, and the whole thing is like, and it's 30 foot by 20 foot. I mean, it's a big thing, and it's just a movie. I can't get up and jump like I normally do because I feel like I'm gonna fall through the thing, But my boys Backbone are playing, and this dude mosh pits happening, and he winds up he dives not on his own accord, but with help from others on accident, and flies underneath the stage and doesn't move. And so we stop the show and pull him out. He is jacked up, man. I mean, blood going everywhere. He's jacked up. So the ambulance comes up, and this is the most metal thing I've ever seen. He's on the gurney, and he's telling the guy, "No, man, I want to stay for Backbone. Like, I want to stay for Backbone." And then he's on the gurney. They're wheeling him out right before he gets to the outside door, going outside. He's like, "Backbone!" I was like, "Did somebody videotape that?" I was like, oh my God. That was some of the most metal shit I've seen. But yeah, we've a bad one, like boy Chris. God damn. He's playing, and he's not even my drummer Charlie's getting on his ass like, "Chris, you're not even playing the right fucking song." Like he was he just got too inebriated, and stuff like that happens. There's one of those about me too. I was getting on my guitar player because he's supposed to sing the chorus with me, and so we lovingly call this the 147 Jaeger night, but I didn't do 147 of them, but I did a lot of them. And I'm like, "Dude, are you not gonna fucking sing with me or what?" He goes, "You're singing the wrong song, asshole." I was like, "What?" And then, now I'm back on the right, doing the right song. But I mean, silly shit like that happens, and then like he was talking about the logistics, man, of it. It's just, because you're putting 4 or 5 or however many people in your band, like all of these lives together. You're literally like, I'm married to this dude, hold on, like I said, and so you're traveling, you don't know how somebody's beat. You're not with them 24/7 until you go on the road. And had one guy had irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, I guess, whatever, bro. Every 2.5 hours we're stopping so he can go take a dump. Like, it took us forever to get to where we were going, you know, but you got to deal with that too, you know. It's just hell, I had just got off knee surgery, and I was walking with a cane still, but we had this tour book, so I was like, well, guess I'm using a cane, you know. Like I say, you got to do it, man. You got to and give it all, because I always think of it like this, as like a married dude. When I mean, I still think of a couples now, but like, and kids and shit. I'm that age, he's that age. But so this couple had to get a babysitter, so that's that money. They had to drive there, that's the gas, and now these days that's fucking crazy. Then they got to pay 2 entry fees to get in, 10 or 15 bucks. So we'll just say 10 bucks. So that's 20 bucks. 20 bucks plus $100 for a sitter, plus the gas to get there. They ain't had a sip of booze, nothing. Like, I want to give them their money's worth. I want them to leave that show thinking that, holy shit, I had an amazing time. I want to see these guys again, and I want to spend more money because of these guys. That's how you got to leave them, you know. Yeah, and you got to have something to give them, you know. I mean, because there's like, it's just, times are tough, man, and even back in the day it was, you know. I always had something for free at the merch table, where there was like one of those little rubber band wristband things you can get printed on or whatever, or stickers or something. Nobody leaves with nothing. They get something in their hand, for, you know, and of course if they get music, and of course now it's super easy with the downloads and all that. I mean, you know, now albums are even coming back, man. I love albums, man. The artwork and the, like, man, I love it so much, man. It's it's
And also, I'll say that a lot of bands, I guess, something that I've learned over my 10,000 hours, right, is that more so than just your job as, you know, to get there and play the gig, right? Your job isn't just playing on the stage and just the logistics of getting there, right? There's more to it. When I get off a stage, I got to take these drums off of there, and I'll be right back. And then I will talk for as long as everybody in that club wants to talk to me, to each one of them. If too many people want to talk to me, then, you know, I might wrap up a couple of conversations a little quicker than they might want. But I'm going to sit there all night, and I will befriend every person in that club if they want to be my friend. And again, after many years of doing this, I've found that is so much more, not more, but it's equal. It's entwined. It is part of the meaningful experience as well. Is because nowadays, especially, you get on Spotify, they release 200 songs a day.
right.
You know, music isn't something that is hard to find nowadays. Now, maybe some good original music might be a little difficult to find nowadays. Maybe, I don't know. But part of the experience is when you go see a band is not only, like you said, you've got to do all these things. It's not just logistical for us, it's logistical for them. They come out. I want them to see my face. You know, they may see me on Facebook or something. Well, there's the time you can, here I go, I'm sitting here, let's talk, let's be friends in real life.
Let me get a sweaty hug.
Sweaty hug. You know, I keep all my drumsticks that I break. Not that not because some people want that.
Right.
They like to leave with something. And so, you know, people that are interested in the drums, you know, I'll break a stick. I won't throw it in the trash. Somebody might ask me for it. And so,
again, that's another thing that I could give you for free. If you can't afford anything at our merch booth, you're going to get a drumstick, or you're going to get a sticker, you're going to get a patch, you're going to get whatever, you know, you're going to get something. Yeah, man, it is. I know that's kind of one of my rules too, is for the bands, you know, look, people talk shit and say that I have LSD, lead singer disease. That is not the case.
No, he doesn't.
I'm loading gear, I'm humping gear, I'm doing all the things, but after we play, I'm not touching any gear. I'm going directly to the merch booth, because that's when you got them, you know, and that's when they want to see you, you know, and so I'm over there, I'm hustling, I'm selling things, I'm talking, I'm taking pictures, I'm, you know, kissing babies, whatever, you know what I mean? That is the time, man. So it is another mucho importante thing. Yeah.
Well, how did you come into ownership of Texas Music Station?
Texas Music Studios. I was
Let me say it again then. I don't want to screw that up. Hang on.
no, you're good.
He let it out.
So how did you come into ownership of Texas movie? Damn it. Music. We're gonna get it.
We're good. I can't wait for the outtakes. It's gonna be fun.
How did you come into ownership of Texas Music Station? Damn it, that's twice. Studio, right? Studios. I quit. Y'all keep talking.
That's funny. So how I came into ownership of Texas Music Studios, you want me to help? I literally I kind of blame my mom. She because like my Sundays in case when I was growing up was her dragging me to Methodist church and me falling asleep and her hitting me a bunch of times. Then we get to the house, order Domino's pizza and clean house with the stereo on 11. I mean, just crank. I mean, we're listening to Led Zeppelin 2, Janis Joplin, Pearl, Kenny Rogers, the Gambler album, Hot Chocolate, the Grease soundtrack. Like all of these things were always just so present in my house. And then so while then we get done cleaning and the pizza arrives, and then we scream at the TV for the next 3 hours because the Oilers are playing. But yeah, so there was new owners at the original location off of Edgebrook. Oh man, South Side. Man. Good times, man. So anyway, and so new owner came in. I met him in the hallway, and I'm like, hey man, nice to meet you. If you need any help, I know just about everybody here. So if someone ain't paying rent on time, let me know, and I'll get them for you if you want me to. And he's like, no, I think I'm good on that. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. Let me know. I mean, if I can help out, whatever, right? Well, and then 5, 6, 8 months later, he starts going on tour. So he's doing, a week or 2 or 3 weeks out on the road. And I'm like, hey man, again, I told you, if you need me, I'm here, man. I'll take the trash out, I'll clean the toilets, or whatever. No big deal. And he's like, cool, I have you as my number 2 guy. I have my other guy as number 1. I'm like, cool, man, no big deal. Day 2, he's out on the road. I'm like, hey, Corey, we're out of toilet paper. And so he's like, I was like, I already got it handled. Just want to let you know. I don't know. I don't know where your buddy's at or whatever, blah, blah. And then I wound up taking the trash out and buying more toilet paper because he still hadn't come back yet. And so he basically said, look, man, next time I go out, you're my guy. And so I don't know, I started kind of treating it almost as if it was my own at that point, and I just remember I'm wiping the toilets down, there's piss all over it, and I'm like, I'm doing this for rock and roll. I'm doing this for rock and roll, And, like I said, it wasn't that big of a deal for me, to clean the toilet. Like I said, because I've been cleaning my toilet my whole life. So like I said, it's my mom's fault. But so then, fast forward, we wound up having a second location and a third location. And so I was helping Corey run them. And then he moved to Costa Rica. Not that the studios make that kind of money, because they really don't, but that was what he wanted to do. And so I was like the guy. I was running all 3 studios and all this, and collecting rent and kicking people out, locking doors, and buying more toilet paper and cleaning more toilets, and all that kind of thing. So it just kind of slowly evolved into that. Like I said, it was probably 12, 15 years that I was running it. And then he was like, look, man, you want to buy this from me? Hell yeah. So it's just this one location now here downtown Houston at I-10 and San Jacinto. So we we're been here since 03 and going to be here for a long, long time. That's what the plan is. So.
And what all projects do you have going on at the studio?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, for me anyway, Rowdy is here. I do sometimes jam with the San Monstro band here, but yeah, I've got 16 rooms. It's probably 25 bands. Like there's one band, literally on this wall right here. At one point, there were 5 bands in there, and one of the bands, they were all service people, service industry people. So, you know, they don't get off work until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they get together and, you know, make sure they bought their beer early and all that. And they show up, and 5 a.m. they're cranking up, you know, and which is that took some getting used to, but you know, rock and roll, whatever.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Whatever, you know. But yeah, man, it's super cool, man. I love. No, it seems like Thursdays is really like the main day that everyone really kind of gets together, and so I love just coming in and walking down the hall and hearing this band, and then, you know, take a few more steps and hearing this band on this side, and man, like I say, it's just it's cool, man. It is really cool, and I love being a part of the music scene here in Houston and Texas in general. You know, I don't know, fills my soul.
And I will say, like, that experience that he just mentioned should not be understated. It is an experience, a very cool experience to come into this place and walk down the hall, and by the time you just even get to our room down the hall, well, his room that I jam in, but
It's your room.
anyways, so by the time you get down here, you've already heard brief clips of 4 different bands, and they're completely different genres. And, you know, there's only 16 rooms here, and there's 500 bands in the city of Houston.
Right.
So the 16 rooms that are filled here are, you know,
Drop in the bucket.
that, well, yeah,
That's
but
how many
how many there are in Houston. Yeah, but however, if you go onto the events page on Facebook in the city of Houston, the top 16 of them that come up, they're probably, some of them at least, are probably out of this place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had it was a band called the Suffers, and they were actually next door, and it's some of Los Carnales. Man, okay, that's another one. I don't know if I could spell it without writing it down, but Los Carnales, phenomenal. It's kind of a ska, jazzy kind of. I don't know, man. It is a physical impossibility to listen to them and not shake your ass. So there's, but anyway, so the band Suffers. I can't remember the girl's name. A beautiful black girl with big ass afro. I love afros. Anyway, they played on David Letterman, but obviously before you know he went off the air. But yeah, man. I mean, that's super freaking cool. You know that they did that. There was another band, Essay, who's been here forever. They're not here any longer, but they had been here for years and years and years. And those 3 vans of theirs that they have seen some shit, man. I mean, from New York to Cali. I mean, and everything in between. It's just I love seeing it when bands are doing it, you know. And I mean, being a band and playing in Houston, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love that, man. Because it's one of the it's an art form. Well, I don't know. I guess most art comes literally from nothing. But you know, music. We have emotions and things and articulate it in a musical sense. And it's just I just love it, man. It's a way to really connect to people. And so anyway, when I'm seeing these dudes, I don't know, hey, we're going to California for the week, man. I'm like, I'm so excited for y'all, dude. Like, that is so freaking awesome, man. Like, keep me posted, man. Keep me posted. I'm be watching. I'm gonna be on Facebook or whatever, Instagram, or whatever y'all got. You know, keeping tabs on you. But yeah, man, it's something cool, man. I don't know why I just thought of it right now, but there's that meme. It's like, have you dated a musician? You might be due to some financial. I don't know what
financial compensation.
Yeah. We are an interesting bunch, to say the least, for sure. I love it, man. I mean, I literally want to own enough studios to where this is what all I do. I work a day job. I work at Specs, which is cool. You can't get this at Specs though.
Yeah.
This is some corn whiskey from the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Georgia. I mean, it's soda water. I mean, it's soda water. That's what I mean.
It's regular water.
But yeah, man, I just love doing music, man. It is literally become a part of who I am. Yeah, hell yeah.
It's I'll speak for you.
Come on.
It's entirely who we are.
Touche.
That is,
Touche.
I work a day job too. Tim, we work together.
Yeah.
And that is something that I take very seriously. But when it comes down to my personality, who is Trey philosophically? Music. This is what I do.
Right.
This is who I am. And I've always been that way. I was booking Pasadena Metal Fest when I was 16 years old.
I was probably 35 at the time.
I've always done this. And I've always done it to my maximum ability and ambition.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm being ambitious in my own head, your inner monologue about what I'm capable of doing in music, my own brain, to a fault almost, but knows no boundary.
Right.
If you ask me inside my own head, sky's the limit. Still, after I've been doing this for, realistically, I've been doing this probably 16 years at this point.
Yeah, well, and we don't have any false notions of anything. It's not the 80s, and we're not a band on the Sunset Strip,
right,
where labels are just trying to scoop up. I mean, that's how the Scorpions got big, and it's not like that. And then even when you think of Texas and music, Austin, it's the live music capital of the world, and so Houston is not there. I mean, you're not gonna make it being a Houston, Texas band. You got to get out there, man. And you got to get in the people's faces and share and not be a dick. It's pretty
that's
cool.
Slogan,
pretty easy.
Right?
Yeah,
that's your slogan, right?
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
So that was my TikTok tag on the end, like, don't be a dick. At the end.
It's usually a good start. Well, is Texas, damn dude, Texas Music Studios.
Hey, there you go.
Is this all rehearsal spaces, writing spaces, or do you record there too?
I mean, you can record here. The building wasn't built out to be recorded in, just because the walls are as thin as they are. It's just a regular like commercial building that was built out for this place. But like right now, we could record because there's nobody else here. But if there's a band jamming next door, there's no way. Well, I should say that there's no way to record vocals or drums, because you've got to have a microphone picking up that sound, right? Where with a guitar or bass, you can go direct. So then it doesn't matter how loud it is, But no, this is a rehearsal space is how I tout it. 16 rooms, 1 bathroom, and the most rock and roll bathroom in all of Texas. It's just a few feet down the hall, man. All kinds of crazy graffiti and stickers, and man, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
it's clean right now.
Yeah, that's the coolest part. Yeah.
Oh, and I did have a buddy of mine. Sorry, I didn't mean to rub that. He was like, Hefe. It's like, dude, did you get that toilet paper? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, dude, I so look forward to that after work. Because like I don't get the cheap ass single ply toilet paper. Like, it's rough around here, right? So I want there to be some nice TP for your hiney. You know what I mean? Like, and so I always try to make sure there's good, nice toilet paper up in there,
Well, it's like, and I guess we're talking about the bathroom, but 16 rooms, sometimes there's 5 bands in one room, like you was explaining, right?
Right.
Everybody wants the bathroom to be cool, clean. Right. It is the craziest looking dive bar bathroom you've ever seen, but everybody that at least comes here regularly treats it with, respect and cleans up after themselves, at least for what I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
So it's like, the looks will deceive you, what I mean? It's, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Most rock and roll bathrooms in Texas. I dig that one. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I'm just curious, like how the rooms are set up. Are they all set up pretty much the same?
Basically, literally each room is 4 walls, a ceiling, air conditioning, carpet, and power. and then it's up to you. Like, I mean, it's hot in Houston. Like, I don't understand how, I'll take one, how, like, dudes don't have fans in their room. Like, I mean, there was at one point I had 3 fans, like these Home Depot freaking fans, you know, I mean, just to keep the wind going, but keep it cool in here. But yeah, man, it is that's it. So I here's my spiel when folks are moving in. I was like, look, I don't ever want to come in your room. I mean, if I'm coming in your room, it's because you didn't pay rent and I got to change your lock. And I don't want to fucking do that. So make this room what inspires you. Like, I don't know, fuchsia fur on the walls. I don't care. Like, I mean, seriously, just whatever is going to inspire you to do you and do your music. Absolutely. Now, don't like adding to the room. Like I've put shelves like in the corners for our PA speakers. So that way it's not on the floor, and the floor space, like that is prime real estate.
Yeah, it is.
So I've had to do that with smaller rooms. So the speakers are up there off like I said, off the ground. And but I did have this one band, they tricked me. They showed up with their parents, they were kids. This is on the south side. And you know, parents are writing the check every month for their band rent. And for a handful of years, I did hear music in that room. And then over the couple of years, there was just less and less and less and less music till I didn't hear any music in there. Or AC went out since August. I mean, I was even telling everybody, dude, just keep your doors open. Like, it's cooler in the hallway. Put your fan, suck the air from the hallway in there, whatever. And so they were doing that too. And so their door was open. So I noticed there was not a lick of musical equipment in that room. There was a crappy couch and a crappy love seat and some crazy, awful, coffee table. And then they had this, like an entertainment center that was nailed to the wall. Like, it was freaking huge. I mean, there was probably 150 nails in this thing. It was ridiculous. And so later that month, they actually moved out. And so I have to go in and clean it up or whatever. Well, there was you know, when you go to the convenience store and it's like for like, I don't know, the candy, but it's like that, it's plastic, but then but the lid is like kind of facing you a little bit, you know? I had one of those things filled with piss. What the fuck? And they were 3 doors down from the motherfucking bathroom. So, like, I mean, just rock and rollers are weird, man. and here's another thing about rock and rollers. I do not understand this love for dicks. Dick artwork.
That's
Oh my
Towboaters
God.
too, man. Don't worry. That's Towboaters too.
Unfortunately, I am a dick artwork aficionado. Tell you a sidebar story. I was working for Comcast at the time, so I had my van at the crib. Cops are at the door in the morning before I got to go to work. And apparently these kids had spray painted some shit on my van, and then there was a truck across the street. As I'm walking around, I see like it's a Chevrolet symbol that they painted on this one truck, and I'm like, oh well, that's easy. And then I see my van, right, and I'm just like, it's a dick. And the cop's like, huh? I'm like, unfortunately, officer, I am a dick artwork aficionado. Hence, here is the head, and here is the shaft, and here's the balls. And he's like, oh, okay, I see it now. I don't know what it is, man. And so that is one of my rules here, like no dick artwork. Dude, draw some boobs. Everybody likes boobs, even the gays. Everybody loves boobs. Everybody loves boobs. Draw some boobs, man. But I got to admit, in that room with the piss jar, they did have 2 of my favorite pieces of dick artwork. One he had like it was Mickey Mouse arms and Mickey Mouse hands and a cape, and he's like flying. I was like, okay, all right, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And then they had a Cheech one, dude. Like, had a big old sombrero on it and the mustache right above the balls. I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. That's pretty
I will say, towboaters are the same way.
What's
Towboaters
with the dicks?
love phallic drawings.
Really?
There is so many penises drawn onto barges. When I was a deckhand, I remember there's probably one penis on every barge I've ever been on, and I don't get it either. Draw something else. Draw a stick guy. Give it a middle finger or something. Something.
I guess everybody loves boobs. Just saying. Draw boobs, people, not penises.
Yeah.
That should be my tagline. Draw boobs. not penises.
Trey, real quick, I know I saw pretty recently a full-length video for Black Market Tragedy came out, and you edited that?
Indeed, I did. That was a learning experience for me. What I've been saying about that is that even when I watch the video, I'm able to see that even where I can see where I need to, improve on my video editing skills. That was the first full-length music video I've ever edited. I also filmed it, directed it. I mean, we had some other people there, right? So it was, as far as filming and directing goes, it was a kind of a joint effort, right? The whole band filmed and edited it, really. But then I took all that
in a haunted house.
Yeah, we did it in a haunted house.
That's cool.
That was super cool. Shout out to the Houston Scream Fest. They were really hospitable. They turned, all like it was in, what was it, in March, and we're in a haunted house. They're only open in Halloween time, so they sent the employees over. They turned all the lights on for us. They've turned the haunted house on for us, right, to shoot this video. Super awesome establishment and crew over there. And so we filmed the video. We had the track done. That being said, so BMT is kind of taking a break from the live gigs. That being said, the studio stuff is not taking any break. We're gonna pump out
and in a rolling.
Yeah, and the studio stuff with BMT is firing on all cylinders right now. So, I mean, we're gonna be dropping 2 or 3 tracks a year, which is pretty normal for the industry nowadays. An album,
for sure.
Yeah, an album doesn't go over as well anymore as it used to. So realistically, the kind of the industry format is 2 or 3 good singles with a video a year. That's kind of the the norm. If you pay attention to your favorite artist, they're probably doing something similar to that. So we're going to be doing that. So there's plenty more to come. There's already a finished BMT recording. The video is just not done. And when it is done, I'll be editing that one too. And so when that one's done, then we'll have another one. And like I said, that song is already finished. The studio tracking is done. The mixing and mastering is done. It just needs its video. There's another track for BMT in there. It's getting mixed and mastered. It's already done. It just needs a video. That being said, my free time has opened up extreme amount because I'm not playing with BMT 2 or 3 times a week anymore. So I don't want to slow down. I have no interest in slowing down. Super respect, super appreciate Matt and Valley's situation, and I'm so happy for them. It's all love, and I mean that 100%.
They retired.
Basically. Yeah, they retired straight up. They retired from their day job, and they're taking a break from some music. At least being present for the music. We can do the recording stuff remote, and then we're all, we can do that. So
they're in their like RV, not RV. Yeah. They have a trailer, and they're touring the country.
Yeah, they're on tour right now.
Yeah,
just not with the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
So super respect, super appreciate. It's all love, 100%. I am not upset with them at all. That being said, I don't want to slow down. I'm not retired, so I found myself in an opportunity to do something new. Jefe and I have been friends, as we said, since I was 16 years old.
He was a baby.
I was.
He was a wee Trey.
I was. And not to sound corny or cliche, but I've been wanting to be in a band with Jefe since I was 16 years old. When I found myself in this opportunity, basically of, well, I get to decide where I go now. You know what I mean? This is all up to me. I could slow down myself. I could take a break. Right. Now, that's not my personality. I'm not slowing down. I don't do that. So first person I reached out to, El Jefe.
And then we get to talking.
Yep.
And it's like, man, all right, we go if we go and do this, it's going to be the most Pasadena, rednecking, white trash, and blue collar, kicking ass band that's ever been. You know. And so our first song that we wrote together was called it's called Double Wide Dream. So that tells you the direction. But yeah, man, it is I don't know, it's just Pasadena is, I mean, shit, Gillies was in Pasadena, you know? I mean, I went to Gillies when I was like 8. I was a picture of me. I rode the bull and everything. I had a pearl snap shirt on, which I'm not wearing a pearl snap today, but I have a plethora of pearl snaps. I'm still dressing that way. And my rough skins and my cowboy boots.
Yeah.
But
Gillies is the bar that's in the movie Urban Cowboy,
Cowboy.
if anybody's unaware, and it's you know, that's
and if you haven't seen that movie, you need to see it. It is awesome.
That's Pasadena.
Yeah, hell yeah. And shit, my mom, she used to work for a company called Commercial Fence, and all of Gilly's properties around here, they did all the fencing for. And so he would fly in, and I don't know if it's a Cessna or whatever, but it's a single engine plane. There's an airport in LaPorte, which is not too far. And so he'd fly in, he had his car there, and he'd come to the place, come to my mom's work and take them all to lunch and stuff like that. And I was like, well, like, Mom, like, I was freaking Mickey Gilly, you know? And she's like, he's still a womanizer. You know, like he's just flirting his ass off, you know, at 70 at that time, you know, or whatever it was. But yeah, man, super cool, man. Cool.
And to the band, so the name Rowdy came from is that, so I had like a quarter of an idea, and it was that my idea was that I wanted to put the word rowdy into the brand of a band, right? So I just wanted my idea was really like the vibe to be the word rowdy.
Let's get rowdy.
Let's get rowdy. You know, that's a vibe, right? Especially for rock and roll. That's a vibe. And so that was my quarter of an idea. You know what I'm saying? I brought that to Jefe. I've had this idea. We do it? Yeah. Here we go. I got one too. So I had this idea to incorporate the word rowdy into the brand of whatever we're gonna do. After many hours of conversation, I'd say we probably put 40 hours worth of conversation into this whole.
Just the name and the idea, yeah.
The concept of this band probably got 40 hours of actual legitimate conversation. Then we together, we were like, the name needs to be Rowdy because it speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
The vibe is implied in the name.
It's like a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? That word, there's so much.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how we landed on the name. And then what was even more crazy is that I know I've been in a lot of bands that, you know, never really went anywhere. I've got the hat too. I've been in a lot of bands that never really went anywhere. And one thing that I've done many a times is when somebody thinks of a band name that you think is a good one, you just get on Facebook and type it in and see how many guys have that same name.
Uh-huh.
None.
Yeah.
No one claimed Rowdy. There's like Rowdy, Texas. There's like Rowdy, Carolina. There's a Rowdy whatever.
And there's even 2 bars in Houston called Rowdy.
But Rowdy something.
Right.
They're no one. I guess I saw an energy drink that's finally done it.
Oh yeah.
But until that energy drink, and to my understanding, and if I'm wrong, send me a Facebook message and let me know. But no one at the time we picked the name, you couldn't find a music group called Rowdy. Find Rowdy something or something rowdy. Let's get rowdy, blah, blah, blah. Houston is rowdy, whatever. But just the name Rowdy, everybody had the thought, oh, that's already taken. So no one took it. We did. You know, done. And so we got lucky on that one. Or we would have had to be Rowdy something or something rowdy or whatever. And we had some going around that, you know, didn't stick. But when we realized that there's no one that, at least in the music realm, no one's called Rowdy.
Sign me
Sign it
up.
up. Done.
Yeah.
And that's just 40 hours of conversation and some luck. That's what that is.
Right. Yeah, we and like I said, like I love the fact it's a vibe. It really is, I mean, rock and roll is supposed to be rowdy, I mean, it's what you do, and for all of the sober people out there, more power to you. I'm happy that you are on your journey, but I mean, as jacked up as it's going to sound, like I like my rock stars with a needle hanging out of their arm on the edge of insanity. Now, that's not where we're at. You know what I mean? We just like to, partake in this a little bit. It ain't like that, but man, Vince Neil is the perfect example. God, he is 4 times the human that he used to be. Huge. Of course, I'm talking Motley Crue, and I think he's sober. And I'm just like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and also, it's like a question that I've been finding is enjoyable to ask people whenever I'm in conversation, say we're talking, I play in this band, we've started this band called Rowdy. The question that I like to ask is, how do you get rowdy? So even if they are sober, you can still answer that question.
Absolutely.
You're sober, you still get rowdy somehow. You are completely straight edge. You partake in nothing, not even meat. You still get rowdy somehow.
I don't know. Maybe it's with your chainsaw in the backyard or something.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know, but something.
But everybody has their own version of getting rowdy. And so what I enjoy is, since we've done this project, it started about the beginning of the year, and we're making leaps and bounds faster than any other band I've ever been in.
Yeah.
That being said, it still does take a lot of time. We started from zero. We decided to be called Rowdy and to start a band on January 1st. It's August the 4th. I mean, and we've got whole set. We could go to a professional studio or whatever it is, but anyways, we've got a whole album's worth of material already. We've got a whole performance we could put on right now. The reason we're not is because we know it can be better. Not that we're gonna, we're doing right. So what I've enjoyed talking to people about is, how do you get rowdy? And then I hear people tell me their way, and I've actually had some insightful conversations about that.
Yeah, man.
So I've enjoyed that a lot.
And I mean, just the name Rowdy, I don't know. Like I said, it's just, I don't know, just kind of bookends itself, man. Like, I don't know. Like I said, there's just something about it. And it fits the motif. Absolutely. And like, like, especially past a get down, Dana, come on. Yeah. Shit, but yeah. Oh, and speaking of Shinerweisen, that's the Texas song I think that I want to do. I've been working on some words. I mean, nice. I'm going to show you later.
We'll do that after we get off here.
Yeah. Like I said, we're always working, man. Always doing something, man. And and if we don't have a new one, we're talking about, okay, all right, which cover are we going to do? Like, I don't know, we were talking about it's Hank Williams Jr. Is it Junior? No,
yes, Junior.
Okay, Hank Williams
Outlaw
Jr.
Woman.
Outlaw Woman. It's a super slow country ass song, but we
we're gonna make it good.
We gonna rowdy it up, And then speaking of shit, we're gonna be doing this Towboat song.
Yeah, we are doing a Towboat song.
I think we in the first stage of it, we've got the music, and it was wild. I've done this before as far as creating a song. But I know he had mentioned, like, I've never done it this way, where we literally, like, we have this a Google Drive, right? And Billy, aka Dirt,
Old Dirt,
he just has this file on there where it is just riff after riff after riff after riff, and the next one, riff, next one, and it's just all these things. And so we literally went through and picked this riff. But like, cool, this is how that song should go, and we just dropped it in there. It's not perfect, but this is just to get the idea going, to get the juices flowing. I'm like, okay, probably the next part should be this. Oh, well, yeah, well, we should repeat that one. Like I said, and we literally just built a song together by cutting and pasting and dropping
tracks.
Oh man, and so we did that. That's on the Towboat song is on the block to get done.
Yeah.
But we're just like, and we got these other 3 songs we need to finish first.
And the Towboat song for me is, I mean, that's a personal one, right? But it's not a love song. I don't want it to be a love song. I don't love towboats, like not like that. It's not a love song. I'm towboaters are badass, and that needs to be reflected in the Towboat song.
Absolutely.
It needs to be a badass, rockin', rowdy towboat song. Now, that being said, the lyrics to something like that, they got to be right. And man, we've probably been through 17 pages of lyrics for the Towboat
They're
song.
like, no, not that one.
That's
I
not
do
good
like
enough.
that one. That
Yeah.
one's cool. We'll keep that one. You know, like I said, it's just a process, And it's in Down's song, New Orleans is a dying whore. He talks about all of these negative things about New Orleans and just how, politicians are pieces of shit and all of these super negative things. And then he says, there's no place like home. But like, I just got goosebumps. Like that's what the Towboat song is going to be. It's going to be, this job sucks. I fucking hate it, but I wouldn't do anything fucking else. That's what the song is going to be about. Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
And any towboater knows, I mean, you've been on boats, you work in the industry, Tim, there is nothing like towboat pride, man. Guys that are really into it, that really live the lifestyle, you could, you could dump all over their pride and they don't care. They're proud to be a towboater.
Right.
That's the one thing that they got that no one can take away from them. And they work hard, they bust their ass, and they earn their living, and they know they do. And it's true.
Right. And they're keeping America going. You know what I mean? That's what I love too, man. I mean, I mean, you're not, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but you're not gonna find a guy that wears like a fancy button-up shirt and tucks his fucking shirt in and shit when he's not there. Like that's just not the guy, folks.
That's not the folks.
And what's the guy's name? That
Jody.
That
Jody.
Jody.
Yeah,
you already knew where I was going.
Al Jody. Fuck Jody.
That's gonna be in the fucking song too, man. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's like I said, it's gonna be a good one, man. I can't wait till we get there. We're just not there yet, man, but we're getting there, man. We're getting there.
It's a work in progress, and we want not only the song but the band, the vibe, the name, all of it. We want the whole towboat industry to grasp hold because we're trying to relay this vibe. It's the same thing: pride, Southern pride, being hard pride,
Absolutely.
working hard pride.
Absolutely.
Getting off work and enjoying your life to the fullest because you got to go back to the boat whenever it's time to start your hitch. That's what we're trying. This whole vibe.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. So, we hope that everybody at least in my industry, I mean, that's my life too. I'm a towboater, I want everybody to be able to, I want to do good enough at what I'm trying to do in my craft for everybody to relate, to be able to grasp onto it and to feel what I'm, pick up what I'm putting down. You know what I mean? I really want that. So hopefully we're able to do that.
Because the only other song about towboating is, it's
trash.
It's a good song. It's just, it doesn't represent you. I don't think.
Not even a little bit.
And so that's the thing. That's the whole idea. We want to create a song that represents this fella. Oh wait, what was your nickname? What they call you?
Towboat Rock Star.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And so like like man, I'd recorded this song, I don't know, 7 years ago or something, me and a buddy, and it's called "Daddy Was a Gun," and it's an ode to my dad and how much of a badass he is, and in all of the bands I've been in, I'm like, man, hey man, let's do this song, "Daddy Was a Gun," man. I mean, and it never clicked. But the moment we started jamming that song, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, this is the band.
It's one of the strongest ones too.
Yeah,
it's one of the strongest ones.
Yeah, the chorus is my daddy was a gun, ain't never been rich. My daddy was a gun, and I'm a son of a bitch. So it's good shit. It's good shit. Yeah.
Well, that feels like as good a place to stop as any. You have anything else to share?
Save the kitty cats. No, I'm kidding. I mean, that is a thing I'm pretty strong about, but
Yeah, let's do some. Well, yeah, get
all right, yeah, save the kitty cats. Let me talk about save the kitty cats. Real quick. So these things, you get them with your beer.
Also sodas.
Your sodas as well. So when I was in the Navy and I would go overseas, everybody says save the turtles whenever they talk about these things in plastic and straws, and everybody makes kind of a joke about it. Oh, save the turtles. But as you can see, man, I'm a rowdy guy and I'm cutting my thing, right? Why am I doing this? Not to save the turtles. When I was overseas in the Navy, and I would go to these other ports and these other countries, it's not the turtles that are getting caught up by those things, man. It's cats.
Kitty cats.
Kitty cats.
Little bitty cute
Yeah.
kitty cats.
So I have 2 cats in my home. I love cats. I like dogs too. I'm not a cat or dog person. I just, I love life and animals, whatever. Pets are cool. But you can imagine a port cat with 16 of those things wrapped around its neck, can barely walk because one of its legs is stuck in it. It's not going to let you catch it and save it. That's what's getting caught up in these damn things, man. It's not the turtles, as the little joke ensues. It's the kitty cats.
So
man.
we do it for the kitty cats, man.
Kitty cats, man. So save the kitty cats, man. And that's my little, environmental PSA, man. Save the kitty cats. So I'll add that.
And this one little small thing. So I don't know. I wrote on this thing for a quick second. Hopefully it works out. Let's see.
Almost. I gotta say.
Wow, it's a big drink. I don't know. It says "fuck yeah." I don't know if you saw that. I know that's one of the things though. Like on koozies, you use all the real estate. Yeah, and like I've even there was one of my bands where on the bottom of the koozie we did bottoms up. So when you're drinking it, you see the bottoms up. Kind of thing. Yeah, man, that's rowdy.
Rowdy. Yeah, that's rowdy.
All right, guys. Thank you all very much for your time today.
Hell yeah.
This has been a production of Where You At Studios, LLC.